Alright, so the beginning of the run here, I really hope you like cutscenes. This is a pretty interesting speed game with a slow start. It's not such a bad start, so slow that it kills any energy the run really has. In fact, it's a good way to kind of get your nerves down before a tournament race of this setting. But we'll see how the intro goes. There is some gameplay, so there is an opportunity for one of these racers to have an early lead.
Excuse me.
I am most concerned with the well-being of the princess in this dreadful heat. Master Mario, if you would, cross over to that shore and find some assistance.
So, after that short bit of gameplay, we have Flood here. Flood's the main mechanic of the game. Use them for just about everything.
Preparing to register customer information, scanning and classifying subject data. Subject identified as Mario, resident of the Mushroom Kingdom. Data storage complete. I am Flood, a flash liquidizer auto-dowsing device. I hope to be of assistance. Proceeding with user instruction. Use the R button to shoot water from my tank. If you press the R button all the way down, you can stop and shoot. You can then use the control stick to aim in
there's a pretty,
direction.
actually, pretty nice tutorial of how to use Flood. It really covers everything. However, not everything, actually. That was a big lie. I'm gonna... Because a lot of water techniques in this run are actually... I mean, running out of water is going to be big, but a few movement techniques in specific are going to be used that you're not seeing right here. So the first thing we do here is we have to fight this polluted piranha at the airstrip. The fight's really simple. It's just a matter of spraying water at it to make sure the water goes in its mouth as soon as its mouth is open in order to spawn the shine as quick as possible. And then after that, you get your first shine of the run at the airstrip, and you're on to more cutscenes before the run really starts to kick off. And somebody asked in chat what the PBs of the runners were. I was too busy trying to talk about the polluted piranha, but I do have the speedrun.com page up. Bloodwhale has a 1:19.06 and Mevius has a 1:16.18. So a few minutes of PB gap, but PB gap does not mean a lot in a game where the movements really... I don't know the best word to say, but it can be easy to mess up if you're not on your game.
Court is now in session. As you are no doubt aware, someone has been senselessly defacing Fair Delfino Isle using some paint-like substance. The accused is charged with polluting our beautiful home, and yes, endangering our very way of life. Indeed, how can one not be aware of what is going on? Though it is daytime in Delfino Plaza, our poor residents tremble beneath a veil of darkness. Expert shrine scholars have determined that this darkness has arisen because of all of our guardians. The shrine sprites have vanished from their gathering spot at the shrine gate.
And,
it's quite obvious
as asked in chat during this cutscene, Japanese and English doesn't make a difference. I'm not 100% sure which differences there are, but I know there are differences. The major difference, I believe, is that Japanese loads into Delfino Plaza faster.
Defendant guilty as charged.
I hereby order
So
to clean this entire island until
it's the recommended version to use, but it's very, very, very little time save.
Adjourned.
So it's not something that'll influence a race.
This appears to be quite a predicament, Mario. Data analysis verifies that the island's inhabitants are indeed troubled by pollution, but the pollution itself is not the main problem. Mario, you witnessed this object at the airstrip, correct? It is a shine sprite. Shine sprites are the source of power on Isle Delfino. They used to gather in great numbers at the Shine Gate, but the graffiti incident has polluted the island and most of the Shine sprites have fled. There is no longer any power to support the peaceful lifestyle of the islanders. It is most pitiable. The only way
Yeah, again, as stated, the time save for Japanese is very small, so really any version of the game is viable, really.
And you, Mario, are being treated as a criminal. Tomorrow we must do our best to resolve this situation.
Go straight to the way. You can't miss the mess now. Your first job's to get rid of all that ugliness. And remember, we'll be watching you, pal. We'll know if you start slacking off.
Alright, the cutscenes are finally passed, and we're on to the beginning of the game here. Well, not quite the beginning, but the beginning of where the run really starts to get action-packed until the end of the run. Once again, we have the polluted piranha. Not much different between this one and the previous one. It's just a lot less colorful and in a different location, really.
Princess, look! On the statue's head!
Shadow Mario is a villain. The kind of a major plot thing in this game. But in a speedrun, Shadow Mario just serves as a type of mission where, as you see, you grab Peach. We're just going to have to spray Shadow Mario here with water until he drops Peach. And this will set up the main framework for the any percent run. And the goal of this run is to beat Bowser at the top of Corona Mountain. And to get into Corona Mountain, you're going to have to complete a Shadow Mario chase mission like the one you just saw in each of the 7 main levels. And so there are 8 missions, 8 episodes as they're called in each of the 7 levels. And the 7th mission is going to be a Shadow Mario mission. So the goal is to finish the 7th mission of each level, of the 7 levels, in order to get into Corona Mountain. So the first level you're going to see here is Bianco Hills. It's the first one that is given to you at the start of the route, or at the start of the game. You could technically get into, I believe, 2 others, but for the sake of this route, it's fastest to do. And actually using the spider, you can get pretty high up in this mountain you just saw. And what's happening is we're going to fight PD Piranha. Now, PD Piranha is actually the second mission. The fight against PD Piranha is usually the second episode of this game. So we ended up skipping a fight with a polluted piranha that would give us the episode 1 shine. So right now we are actually in episode 2 of Bianco Hills. So this is the fight against PD Piranha. It's a fairly simple fight. Just like polluted piranhas, you're gonna wait for PD to open his mouth so you can spray water into it. However, not only does PD take a lot more water, but he has a bit more attacks at his disposal. but 3 ground pounds on the stomach, and Petey is done for. Mevius here, a bit of a lead. But there's still a lot more game to play, so we'll see what happens. Coming up, episode 3. Episode 3 is going to introduce us to the secret level. The secret level is a type of level in this game where Shadow Mario, as you're going to see fairly shortly, Mevius is going to wall jump on this pillar to get up to the cave faster, and Bloodwhale about to do the same. Shadow Mario is going to steal Flood from you, and you're going to have to get a shine at the end of this level without using Flood, and just using your basic moveset. The first one in the cave, since it is the first one, it's meant to be fairly simple. And both racers get to the end perfectly. I don't know perfectly, I don't know the perfect movement here, but it was pretty fast, so I'd say it was pretty good. And now we see a little bit in this cutscene of something over there, so both the racers are gonna go investigate what this pile of goop is. Haha, it's another polluted piranha! So, the fight against the polluted piranha never changes. However, in this right here, you see actually, in the first 2 fights, they did a lot of spraying the mouth right there, and you saw what Bloodwhale did by just, like, zooming in. And especially here you have to do it, but I should actually mention a pretty big thing in the route is, and you saw it in Petey, I believe. I'm not very organized in bringing these tricks up. You see spam spraying, which can get a lot of water out really far, really quickly, and is really good. You saw, I don't remember the name of this skip, but basically, instead of, what you do there is you time it right and enter Bianco Hills at the same time that a cutscene of a building rising from the ground happens, and what that does is play both cutscenes at the same time, so that way you don't have to watch both of them, and as soon as the first cutscene ends, you can go right into Bianco Hills to episode 4, which is the Village Red Coins. And thank you, chat, for reminding me that skip I mentioned just before episode 4 is called Travel Skip. I was thinking of a different skip from a different game. So I decided to just play it safe and not even try giving the skip a name. But episode 4 went pretty well for both racers, it looks like, as that is as long as Bloodwhale doesn't jump over the shine. But now here's the point where Bloodwhale has a good chance to catch up. Coming up, we're going to rematch against PD Piranha here. So, yeah, this time Petey is resting over here by this ledge, and the fight's also going to be quite a bit different as well, because Petey is going to do some neat thing where he flies around, and when he flies around, he can go in all different places around the village, and it's luck-based, and it can lose a lot of time. So I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not sure how to tell which pattern is quite a good pattern, which one is not as good a pattern. But it looks like they're both getting hits on right now. And even once Petey's on the ground, he can still do a tornado attack. And that tornado can waste time. Petey, why are you going over there? That does not look fun. So yeah, here's the tornado in question. And it looks like Mevius... According to chat, Mevius' RNG right now is not great. And Bloodwhale's is not the best. Thanks, Petey. Mevius... still gonna be the first one to take out the boss. Oh no! That's not good for Bloodwhale. But there we go. The boss is down for both. Mevius collects the shine. And Bloodwhale's about to get it. So, now the next part, this is the last, I promise this is the last polluted piranha we're fighting. We're seeing nice water slides though. They're pretty fast. But you can't really do anything to speed up. No amount of water sliding can speed up a polluted piranha fight, can it? So, now Mevius is done with the fight. And looks like Bloodwhale is as well. Telling by the slide backwards. And now we're going to Gelato Beach, which... Gelato Beach is going to have a major skip here, so as pointed out when we did Bianco Hills episode 2 before episode 1, if you do a shine out of order, you can go to every previous shine in the level. So what's going to happen here is Mevius is going to use this coconut to clip into this hut roof and go into these saw blades into this glass area and collect this shine. Now, this shine is actually intended to be the shine for Gelato Beach episode 8. So, since Gelato Beach episode 8 is cleared, Mevius and now Bloodwhale, since Bloodwhale now has the shine, can go to every single level before episode 8. And since episode 7 is the level that we have to do to complete in order to progress the story and progress the opening of Corona Mountain, the final stage, we're gonna hop right into both of them hop right into episode 7 and chase Shadow Mario until he drops us a shine. Really, really clean Shadow Mario. Some of the stuff you can do on these Shadow Marios is absolutely crazy. So, now using some nice movement, including a Y turn right there, where you can kind of zoom in your camera and use it to make your turning more specific, you can get into Pianta Village right now without the rocket nozzle, which you usually would like to have to get into this level. And so, coming up, the first mission here are the chain chomplets, which you have to keep... You have to douse them in water, and then fling them into the pond here. I believe there is some RNG based on the movements of the chomplets, but if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me there. And pausing there's usually a cutscene before the shine spawns. But by pausing there, you can skip the cutscene and just get straight to the shine spawning. So, now Bloodwhale getting that shine. My internet's taking a toll, but I'm really trying here. I believe the second mission we're about to get into is Piantissimo. And Piantissimo, there are 3 Piantissimo races in the game, but one of them was skipped using the Gelato Beach skip. I believe that would have been Pianta 5. Or 6. No, what? Pianta? Did I just say Pianta? This is Pianta. Gelato something is a Piantissimo race. I don't remember off the top of my head right now. But with that one skipped, we're going to see 2. This is Pianta 2. Words. Not the hardest in the world, especially with water slides, making movement quite a bit faster. But at this point now, Mevius just has to wait. Until Piantissimo reaches the flag and grabs the shine. Oh, I was right on Gelato 5. Okay. So coming up is Pianta 3, which is another one of those levels where you have your flood taken away, but this time you're not going to some weird parallel dimension where stuff is floating everywhere and there's a cappella music. This time you're in the normal level, but you don't have flood. And your goal is usually to get rid of all this lava goop to get your flood back and clean off the mayor. But using the wind cloud enemies, you can take damage to stand and move over the lava goop and go immediately to the end of the level and get your shine. See Bloodwhale also getting up there. Very nice. And now Pianta Village episode 4 is going to be the Chain Chomp's Bath. So a bit of a thing you can do here is by dropping the Chain Chomp there, you can kind of do some weird stuff with the path it moves on and then grab its tail at the right time. And what that'll do is that'll allow you to get the Chain Chomp into the bath pool easier and grab the shine easier. So, The camera? Okay, that was definitely something. But now we're headed to Pianta 5. This mission usually requires Yoshi, which I don't believe we have unlocked right now, but it won't matter because we're going to be doing a skip here. We're going to be... Usually you have to get Yoshi to use on this orange... I don't even know what right here. But what you can do is, with the right setup, clip into the tree, clip into the mushroom, and hit the loading zone. So now we have Chucksters. There is some luck to the Chucksters, mostly when it comes to the cycle that they move on. Depending on how much the Chucksters stop and how they move, you can make different cycles, and it can save or lose time depending on if your cycles are any good. And there's even a... Oh, no! That is not good for Mevius. A bit far to the right on his angle there caused the death. A decent portion into this area. Once again, another death there. And Bloodwhale right there was mashing, I believe it was the Y button, while talking to that Chuckster, because usually that one, I believe, tosses you backwards. But then, by mashing Y, it'll toss you backwards, and by that I mean forwards, and into the direction of the shine. So now Mevius has to wait. You saw Bloodwhale there. Got a really good cycle. I see Chance yelling. I see Ramel cycle there. I learned a lot of this game from Average Trey. Shoutouts to Average Trey. If you haven't seen his video about this game yet, I recommend it. But Mevius finally getting the Chuckster shine. Bloodwhale now doing Pianta 6, where we have to clean up the Piantas. As I mentioned earlier, the spam spray mechanic in this game, when you just like quickly tap the R button, you can clean off a really good portion of these Piantas. Alright, and that was pretty alright for Bloodwhale. We'll see how Mevius does. Oh no, a little bit of slip up there. Come on, clean up the Piantas. Alright, so except for that mistake, that was a pretty good one there for Mevius. And as he's gonna collect the shine for episode 6, Shadow Mario was taken down for Bloodwhale in episode 7, and he's going to be getting out of Pianta Village. So that's 2 Shadow Mario shines down, just 5 to go for Bloodwhale, and soon to be 5 to go for Mevius. But now we have Honey Skip, I believe, yes. And Honey Skip is basically going to be a skip where, abusing how the way that Out of Bounds works in this game, the runners are going to set themselves up to enter the cutscene that usually plays the first time you go near the Pinna Park entrance and die at the same time. And what that'll do is respawn the racers right at the cannon that leads to Pinna Park, and it skips the cutscene there. So Bloodwhale did it. Pretty nice. And we're about to see Mevius do it as Bloodwhale goes into Pinna Park Episode 1, which is going to be a pretty decent boss fight. And then by decent, I mean it's fun. By hitting exit area, as there's a cutscene there, and by hitting exit area as you go through those two pillars, you can skip the cutscene by, I don't know. It skips the cutscene because shenanigans, this game. Really, everything but this game is pure shenanigans. But the Mecha Bowser fight, you're gonna see shooting these water missiles to hit the giant robot. I don't know how you're supposed to know that this robot is the target. And once again, there's a cutscene skip by hitting exit area around the time that you see the boss start to shoot those flames after breaking down. And it makes this mission a whole lot quicker than it usually is. Bloodwhale already moving on to Pinna 2. So we'll see if Mevius can do what Bloodwhale just did with that boss fight, because Bloodwhale is crazy going right now. Yeah, we see having to use those missiles, Mevius, to finish up the fight. And I missed Bloodwhale doing mole skip there. Usually you have to have that mole that's there hit you with some throw some bombs at you, and then you have to throw the bombs back at him. But if you're quick enough, you can jump into the cannon and get into the loading zone for the secret stage that Pinna 2 is, that the goal of Pinna 2 is to finish before the mole closes it and throws bombs at you. So now Mevius is heading to the mole and getting the skip. Bloodwhale is about to do Pinna 3, which is going to be a pretty technical mission involving some red coins and some pirate ships that move on cycles. There we go. So now Mevius going to head into the mission that is being done by Bloodwhale right now. Bloodwhale at the end of the mission going to grab this red coin, and then at the top, after all these electric Koopas, gonna just hover on up and not have to worry about going around. So we'll see if how Mevius does in comparison to how Bloodwhale just performed on this mission. Doing a different movement there, taking a Y-turn wall kick to grab that mid-air red coin and then going over here. Arc hit 6 and the ship is in a perfect position. Oh, wow. I didn't know if Mevius was going to do that right with the grab there, but Mevius, that was absolutely a crazy pin of 3. But now we have pin of 4. That comes after 3, and this one, we have to kill these 5, I don't even know what they're called, but they have Yoshi egg shells, which is pretty cool looking, and we're gonna see as they're killed, these sunflowers start to bloom, and all 5 of them have to bloom in order to finish the mission. We see a quadruple hit on Bloodwhale. You can get a 1-cycle quintuple hit there, but it's a very tricky maneuver. We'll see if Mevius does it, I believe. Yeah, that was. No, those were not the Cataquacks. Oh, the Cataquacks. But now Bloodwhale is heading into pin of 5, which is actually a mission that we're gonna skip. Because we're not doing pin of 5. I'm a big fat liar. How could I forget? So, Bloodwhale is actually not going to enter pin of 5, but is instead going to enter pin of 3, which is a level where you usually have to enter the park. And what he's going to do is he's going to look around the level for a coconut that Yoshi needs, going to open Yoshi. He is the first use of Yoshi in the run. Now, first thing that Bloodwhale wants here is, you see, he grabs a durian to turn Yoshi purple, and uses a glitch called fruit storage. So now whenever he uses his tongue, he'll have a fruit that turns him orange, in this case a pear. He brings 2 of the soaring stews over to this area, and then what he does is he turns one into a platform to clip into this part of the park. Usually the door is a loading zone to the actual park, but here the park is not fully loaded correctly. And then you use a second platform to get into there's usually a set of invisible walls, but using a platform there, a purple platform, you can go straight through the invisible wall and reach the Yoshi go-round. And usually in pin of 6, you need an orange Yoshi to enter the secret of the Yoshi go-round, which Bloodwhale is in, and unfortunately dies due to falling. Did I not say pear? Okay. Papaya. It's pear pie. But the loading zone for the Yoshi go-round is still there, even in levels outside of pin of 6. And you can make it into the level early. So we skipped pin of 5, and now we're in the secret level for pin of 6, which will unlock pin of 7 once we finish this mission. Unfortunately, Mevius took the lead because Bloodwhale messed up some of the jumps here. But there you go, now both of them get it, and now this race is quite a bit closer. So, once again, we have Shadow Mario in the 7th episode. This time, Pin-Up Park. And so far, since at this point Shadow Mario doesn't need too much explaining, we're about halfway through the race, I'd say, and so far it's been going pretty alright. We've seen a death from Mevius in the Truckster mission, and two deaths in the Yoshi go-round from Bloodwhale, but aside from that, this has been pretty solid for both races. We see a save there from Mevius. I don't quite know the reason, but I guess race safety. Although I guess he did make it to Rico pretty quickly. I think that was the reason. Memory cards. You learn something new every day about this game. This game is definitely a weird one, and Rico is not helping. So Rico Harbor is the next major stage we're going to. And the first mission is going to involve Gooper Blooper. Yeah, save warp. Saves 10 frames? Really? I believe that's speed cheating. We're gonna have to stop Mevius right now. No. Mevius and Bloodwhale fighting Gooper Blooper. Really easy fight. You're intended to get rid of the tentacles, because usually the tentacles mess you up really badly while doing this fight. However, with knowing the attack patterns of the boss, you can go straight for the nose, and you have to pull the nose twice to beat the boss. And so heading into the blooper race shine, except no bloopers. Bloopers are for those slow people. Oh no, Bloodwhale. Alright, makes it into the race. So you're intended to use a blooper and do the race here. We do neither of those. Mevius is gonna just jump around and hit a ton of checkpoints within the race, and then make it back to the start of the race, and get the shine to spawn. Next mission. Gonna be a pretty big skip compared to the intended route. So going up on this platform, then the next step is to jump over here and hover under. And now that's the mission. Usually you have to climb all the way up and then jump into that cage from below, but not when you're a speedrunner. Or should I say a speed... Oh no! Bloodwhale. So now Bloodwhale's just getting the shine, and Mevius is going to be heading into what is, I believe, the only secret level here in Rico Harbor. Rico 4, the lighthouse secret. It's called that now. I made it canon. It's a fairly simple secret. There's a lot of rotating blocks and a lot of jumping. So we saw pretty good for Mevius there. We'll see if Bloodwhale can match the standards. Next stage. Gooper Blooper's back for more already. The fight hasn't changed. I don't know why this is happening. He just wanted to be here. He just wants a friend. And we're just pulling his nose. How rude. Bloodwhale, just befriend the squid. It took me 3 times of saying the word befriend to remember the word squid. Pretty good fight from Mevius. It's not a hard fight. Please, just the cork. Why did that take so long? Okay, well... Splatoon came early. Actually, now you think about it, a Splatoon speedrun tournament would actually be pretty sick. But okay, I'm not gonna dwell on that one. There are more bloopers, though. There's also red coins. So each of these bloopers have different stats. I believe the differences in stats are determined... There's 2 stats that... Speed and handling, turning, whatever you want to call it. Green is the one you use. It's just the best one. I'm not going to talk anymore about stats. This isn't sports. This is Mario Sunshine. Speaking of Mario Sunshine, Mevius gotta shine. And Bloodwhale is about to start the 8 red coin mission. You want stats? I'm pretty sure the green one is the one that moves the fastest but turns like grandma in the grocery store. Speaking of grandma, here we have Shadow Mario. Don't ask why those 2 are related. Just go with it. Okay. I'm not so now we're back in Bianco Hills. You may remember this from way too long ago. Because of the way that Delfino Plaza works, some cutscenes, when the area loads, takes longer than others, which is why we went to Gelato Beach as soon as possible, instead of just returning here to finish up the missions. We still have 2 more levels to do. So Bianco 6 is a really tricky one, especially because of that jump. And the red and blue platforms that spin around are cycle-based. Very cycle-based. So, if the level isn't done with the right amount of speed, you may not be very lucky at the end of the stage here, where the platforms are just about everywhere. Bloodwhale bonked on the turbo box. Oops. But now we have Shadow Mario once again. That was fast, because we've already done most of the episodes to get to Shadow Mario at the beginning of the game. Just had to go through this secret and then on to... on to the next level. So now, Mevius only has 2 more levels, and Bloodwhale is a Shadow Mario behind Mevius. So, the next level that Mevius is going to go to is Yoshiville. We need to save Yoshi, and he's gonna transport us to Yoshiville. I don't know which state Yoshiville it's in, but I know it's a magical place, so it's probably California. Just kidding, it's Serena Beach. I bet everybody fell for that prank. But you were all expecting Yoshiville, but instead, you got Serena Beach Episode 1. This stage. This stage. The first mission here, we're going to be seeing a boss fight against this Manta. Phantom Manta, is that the thing? Am I thinking of the wrong game? Phantom Manta sounds cool. I'm gonna call it that, because it basically is that. And we're gonna have to spray water at it. That's usually what you do in this game. But this boss is unfun, because guess what happens when you spray water at it? It splits into pieces. How enjoyable. So with it split into pieces, it goes everywhere, and it can be easy to have a mistake in this fight, but then when the pieces of the Manta get small enough, they'll just disappear entirely when sprayed with water. And although there are a lot of pieces, spam spraying is a great thing in this fight. And before you know it, the fight's already over. Bloodwhale's now at the part where they all turn purple. Usually this means that every Manta currently in play is at the smallest size. And that you're fairly close to finishing the boss. Granted, the small mantas are just about everywhere. But it looks like Bloodwhale has finished. Yep. We're gonna see the hotel rise back from the ground. And coming up is episode 2. Episode 2, we're gonna see some pretty cool stuff here. Some movement off of these boos and spraying the boos to create platforms to get up into this secret stage. This secret stage is, in my opinion, one of the weirder ones because it's kind of the first one where... Actually, that's not true. There's just a lot of blocks, though, and really weird layouts that don't make perfect sense sometimes, but it's still a pretty enjoyable stage to play through and see be done, especially at this ending part where we're going to want to get off this platform as soon as possible and get to the Shine. Bloodwhale messing up a little bit on the movement here, as where Mevius did it really well. Come on, Bloodwhale! Bloodwhale! It's kind of stuck under a platform there. There we go. So now Mevius going into Serena 3 as Bloodwhale is in the secret portion of Serena 2. So, Mevius is going to grab a banana, wall jump to the 3rd floor, and then backflip and throw the banana to clip into this pool. Usually what you have to do is you have to take a random path through a ton of hotel rooms and even the air vent in order to get a Yoshi to go back, and nice save from Bloodwhale, and get back into the air vent and then get into the Shine from there. But using the banana and the clip, you can just clip past the security guard guarding the Shine and save quite a bit of time. So, Serena 4, for those who remember this game, might think that this is about to go terrible, because there's a lot of luck and a lot of not very well programmed things in this level. However, we can skip the entire casino here by getting up to this ledge and jumping right into the pipe with the secret from out of bounds. Bloodwhale clipping through the glass, getting the Shine in the pool. Now Mevius onto the last section of Serena 4 with a nice triple jump, notching him the 33rd Shine. However, although we can skip the random nightmare that is Serena 4, when it comes to Serena 5, we're not quite as lucky. Bloodwhale attempting a strat where you have to go off of a light post instead of that wall there in order to get up here. Getting hole-in-one, though. And Mevius now into the second casino shine. Which, as the floor lowers, we'll see is a boss fight against the one and only King Boo. So King Boo spins these slots around, and the slots are not exactly consistent in what they roll, let's just say. Fortunately, you can kind of run into King Boo and reset the slots. A chance that you get a slot roll that you're not really a big fan of. However, it still wastes time to have to roll the slots extra times. So, you usually don't want that. Once the slots roll fruit, you see Mevius is going to throw a chili pepper, and then throw a different fruit. And that combo of doing things is going to damage the boss. And that has to be done 3 times. As is in classic Mario fare. Alright. We have the fight finished for Mevius. And Bloodwhale missing while attempting to kick a durian into King Boo's tongue. So now we have episode 6 here, where we have to clean up the beach. Now, Mevius is playing on the Japanese version here, so, and Bloodwhale is playing on the Italian version, on a PAL version. So, Mevius is going to have to clean up quite a bit more goop than Bloodwhale will, in order to get the shine for this mission. Yeah, you see how specifically that had to be cleaned up. For Bloodwhale, the cleanup's not going to be as much of a hassle. And, now Mevius heading into Shadow Mario, before heading into the last stage, before Corona Mountain, which is the actual last stage. Someone in chat asking about the fastest way of movement. I believe it's the water sliding that I've been talking about. Yeah. The water sliding that I've been talking about throughout this race is the fastest way to move. You're gonna see it here. A water slide to get into that hotel quicker. Or to talk to the guy that lets you into the hotel quicker. And one thing I failed to mention is also spam sprays make this mission a heck of a lot easier. Bloodwhale jumping on a bit of a goop there. Not a recommended thing to do, but finishes the mission. Mevius onto the last level, Noki Bay. The last level before the last level. The last major stage, Noki Bay. The last. No. So, the first mission here. We're gonna see some pretty unique movement on some of the level geometry in order to get up to the mole here that you might remember we skipped having to fight in Pinna 2, but this time we have to fight it, so you're gonna see what that's like. Mevius is gonna throw some bombs the mole's gonna throw some bombs, Mevius is gonna spray the bombs with water and throw them back at the mole. 3 times, the mole's down. Uncork the waterfall. The mission name does not lie. There's a shine sprite in it. Alright. Now Bloodwhale is done with Serena Beach. And is going to go on to Noki Bay, where he will be joining Mevius. Mevius now starting episode 2. So this mission usually revolves a lot of going around the level, but what Mevius is doing here is he picks up this springboard, this movable springboard, and then drops it into this corner to clip into the corner and then make it to the end of the stage and collect the shine sprite without having to do the stage, basically. So now, Mevius is going into this bottle. There are 8 red coins in the bottle. They have to be collected. Those red coins have been collected. No, but in actuality, that kind of underwater level type is pretty interesting. You're gonna see it again right now in the next mission that Mevius is heading into. Basically what happens in that underwater level type is you move down slowly, but you have infinite water. And, well, you can use the hover nozzle to swim back up. So it's pretty interesting to see how well these racers can control how they move underwater, especially when your height is constantly moving either up or down, depending on what you're doing. And it gets even harder in this fight against the eel here, where you're going to be having to use the spray nozzle. So you can't just be hovering whenever it's right, because sometimes you may need to attack the eel. I don't even know what Mevius just did. So the goal of the eel fight here is to clean up all the teeth on the eel by spraying them with water and not getting eaten and stuff. The usual fare. So what just happened there? Mevius was flashing from taking damage, and for some reason, flashing from taking damage cancels the cutscene of the eel dying and the shine spawning. So Mevius was able to get to the shine a lot quicker and pick it up as soon as possible. So, on to the second race with Piantissimo, who we haven't seen since Pianta Village. Mevius, get the flag, please. And yes, we're going to be seeing 44 shine collected in this run, including Bowser. Mevius has 40, about to get 41. So we're getting really close to the end. Coming up to the last level before the last Shadow Mario mission, we have a tough one here. The Shell Secret, Noki Bay Episode 6. A terrible, terrible level to end a run on. This level is just going to beat you down. As you can see, even the movement that Mevius just did to get to that secret level was insane. And now he's in the secret itself, which isn't too much easier. In fact, I wouldn't even say it's easier. You can make a quick cycle here with the rotating of these platforms called the green cycle, because you'll land on the side of the block with the green peg on it. Mevius decided to play it safe and wait the cycle out because he didn't think he would make it. And it doesn't look like he would have made it based on my eyes, which aren't too good. But he's done with the mission, heading to the last Shadow Mario mission in Noki 7 with Bloodwhale racing Piantissimo in Noki 5. Not getting bounced off by the trampoline. Alright. Well, he's gonna finish the race anyways. Go hit the flag. Oh my goodness. Why are these two scaring me with the flag? 0.69. Nice going, Mevius, or Bloodwhale. According to chat, apparently Mevius always goes for blue cycle. I'm just hoping. I was just hoping I'd see a green cycle in this race at this point. Well, Bloodwhale is about to enter Noki 6, so we might see it. We're about to enter the last level for Mevius, though. We're gonna see Corona Mountain. Blood does usually try and go for green cycle, well then I hope to see that. So Corona Mountain is a cycle-based stage, no doubt about it. The way these spikes move, the way these fish move, this level, you have to be on top of your game with the speed in which you go through the level. Otherwise, you might get a pattern you haven't seen, and you haven't liked, and never will like, because it murdered you and your run. But Mevius makes it to the boat. So Mevius is now, right at the end of the run, we have one last trick we're going to see used here. We're going to see a rocket storage here from Mevius, so that Mevius can make it to the top of... We can skip rocket nozzling onto the clouds, and so it's faster than using the normal rocket because you can just blast straight up to the trigger with the cutscene. And after this cutscene, we're going to see the final boss for Mevius, Bloodwhale, making it through Noki 6, now onto the last Shadow Mario mission before the Bowser fight. So the point of Bowser fight here is you're going to go... There's 5 pegs, just like a Shine Sprite, on this bathtub. What you have to do is go to a peg, use the rocket nozzle, and then once you're high enough in the air, you ground pound to destroy it. And then once all 5 pegs are destroyed, the boss fight is over, and Mevius takes first place with an official SRL time of 1:17:56. Congratulations to Mevius for the victory. And we're about to see Bloodwhale enter the final stage, so Bloodwhale will be done fairly soon as well.
Mario, was I, assist, Mario, look.
So we'll see how Blood makes it to the boat. Pretty nice. This stage can be really hard, so even making it this far is a good thing.
Junior, I've got something difficult to tell you about Princess Peach.
I know, she's not really my mama.
And now we have audio from Bloodwhale as he's preparing the rocket storage and goes into the Bowser fight.
The water's great, hey, Junior?
Sure is, Papa. Come on in, Mama Peach. I think not. Mario! You again? Don't you ever give up?
Mario! How dare you disturb my family vacation?
And so now Bloodwhale onto the final fight. Looking like on pace for a low 121, which is a good time. And yeah, definitely as this race, the gameplay for this race is coming to a close. If you liked either of these racers, make sure to give them a follow on their Twitch, because I think they definitely deserve it. This was a great race and got done. Bloodwhale finished with a 1:21.04.
Mario, was I assist Mario, look.
All right, so we're gonna see these. We're gonna be seeing Bloodwhale in here shortly.
Junior, I've got something difficult to tell you about Princess Peach.
I know, she's not really my mama. Someday, when I'm bigger, I wanna fight that Mario again.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, GG's. That was a good run, I'd say.
Yeah, it was. My run was really good out of Pianta, actually. I got an early cycle as well, which saves a lot of time.
Yeah, I saw that. That was exciting. You had a really good run up until the pin of 6 kind of faltered.
Yeah, for sure. The thing about mid-game, or Pina in particular, is that it's really difficult, and I'm very rusty, but I'm still, like, super satisfied with that run. Considering that I haven't played the game in a week, I'm, like, super happy with my performance, because Mevius is a really, really strong opponent, and he's top 12, I believe, out of any percent runners.
I think he's straight up is 12th, yeah.
Yeah. So he's very, very good. So I'm really happy about this performance, considering that I am a little bit rusty. Like I'm really happy with it. Not bad at all.
Well, I definitely couldn't tell that you were rusty. Like, that was a good job.
Yeah, no, like I was surprised myself. That's why I'm like, like the first part of the run, like early game out of Pianta, the run was really solid. Had a few mistakes, but like the fact that I got early cycle made it really good out of Pianta anyway, because that saves around 20 seconds. Like I had a 29.34 out of Pianta, 32 actually out of Pianta, and like anything sub 30 is decent. But yeah, like my PB is a 119.06, which is a low 119. So ideally, I would want like a high 120 maybe in a race, but I mean, I got a low 121, which is essentially the same. So
yeah, it is. Especially it was like 04, so
yeah. So like
close
for
enough.
a race, yeah, for a race, this was definitely good, and I'm really happy about the performance I did. And GG's to Mevius, he's a beast. He's one of the few Japanese runners that actually reaches out to us Westerners, so I'm really happy to be able to race him.
Yeah, I actually have a question, though, involving the bracket. It looks like this is single elimination, so you're not moving on, but how do you feel Mevius is going to be doing against Pangaea Panga is going to be your next opponent? How do you feel that's going to go?
Mevius should be able to beat Pangaea Panga. I think Pangaea Panga isn't playing very actively, first and foremost, but also like Mevius is extremely high level, and his consistency is nothing to sneeze at either. You know, pulling out 117 in a run where he messed up so hard in the early game, like missing a Shuckster throw, it's very impressive. And yeah, Mevius should be poised to take it, but you never know. Pangaea Panga is a very good runner as well. I think he has a 116 or 117, one of those. So like Pangaea Panga can definitely win if he gets a really good run. But I still think Mevius is gonna take it. Mevius is a very good runner that has been on the up and coming as of recent.
It looks like Pangaea Panga does have a 116, so yeah.
Yeah, so they are pretty close in PB. So it's definitely going to be a really close race, I think. But I also, like I said, I don't think Pangaea Panga is actively running the game at the moment. So he definitely has some work to do.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's going to be hype. But yeah,
I don't
overall,
have too much else to say right now.
Yeah.
So if you want to say anything, or if chat has a question that they want me to ask you, feel free to say it now.
Yeah, I just want to thank Mevius again for the race. It was fun, and good job on getting a casual 117. And yeah, it was fun, and I'm planning on picking up the game soon again. I've been kind of busy with work, that's why I haven't been playing that much, but soon I'm gonna start getting into it a little bit more, and then I'll start playing more. And you know, if anyone is interested in running Sunshine, we have a lot of resources, and this game is really sick. The movement in this game is fantastic, so I definitely
need to run it myself soon.
Yeah, I definitely recommend you check it out. And because it's pretty beginner friendly, actually. It's just it's hard to reach the top level, but learning the basics is not too bad.
Yeah, I have a family member who used to run this game, so that's basically what I know. Just about everything about running this game I know from him.
Yeah.
But if it's beginner friendly, is it hard to like learn some of the things? Somebody's asking, is it hard to learn?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it's particularly hard to learn. There's a few tricks that you will be stumped on when you start learning, like Gelato Skip, for an example, which is extremely timing based. But in general, most tricks aren't very technical, the tricks themselves. But it's just, yeah, so like once you start doing it a bit, it's not bad at all. It's basically just muscle memory, no like very technical inputs for the most part. It's just timing. So the tricks in general aren't actually too hard in this game, I'd say. EYG being the exception if you do 3YD, but then you can also do EYD in Pina 5, which makes it significantly much easier.
Pretty nice.
Okay. But yeah, I think that's it for me, and thanks to everyone who watched. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, have a good one.
All right, yeah, I have nothing else to say, so I'd say give the runners a follow.
Yeah, I think Mevius actually has a Twitch account. Most Japanese players don't have a Twitch account, but I do actually think that he does. I think he typed in the chat earlier.
I didn't see it, but he's live with a stream called Any Percent Tournament versus Bloodwhale.
Yeah, so he's probably live. But yeah, Mevius0229, you should follow him. He's one of the few Japanese runners that pretty actively streams on Twitch. So I definitely recommend you check him out. He's an up-and-comer for sure. He's been like climbing the leaderboards quite a lot recently, so. But yeah, he's like... But yeah, like what Larvy said, everyone has to stream on Twitch, but most of the Japanese runners don't stream on Twitch unless they have to. But Mevius is one of the few Japanese runners that actually do stream pretty consistently on Twitch and not on Nico Video or something, which is a Japanese streaming website. But yeah. Good stuff, and yeah, there's a lot of more hype matches to come in the bracket too. I definitely recommend you to check those out. There's a lot of high-level and top-level runners still left in the bracket, and the matches are going to be pretty hype.
Definitely, I'll be sure to even stick around, and I recommend everybody does.
All right, well, that's it. I'm out, and thanks for watching. Peace.
See ya. And for those who want to watch more speed gaming, there's not any sunshine right now. There is a match that, 2 matches that don't have a channel later today, but if you want to watch more speed gaming, if you go to Speed Gaming 2, there's a Jack and Daxter relay race. If you go to Speed Gaming 4, there's a Link to the Past No Major Glitches race. And if you stay here for another half an hour, you can watch Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. And that's everything right now, so I'll be seeing you guys whenever I hop on the mic again, I guess. So until then, peace out.